So today's video is going to be an Ariana Grande makeup look / transformation video just because I was so inspired by her One Love Manchester concert. I watched the entire thing. She's such a strong person and you guys know how big of a fan I am of her, so I decided to give you guys this look. So I started off by priming my face and then applying some foundation, which is really odd because I never wear foundation. And this is a shade lighter technically than my face. It's the same shade as the lighter portions of my face, so I decided to apply this for a brighter look and it'd be easier for me to contour my face later to look a little bit more like Ariana's. But I didn't want to do straight up white face, so that's why I'm applying this foundation. And afterwards I went in with some concealer and I used a Maybelline Master Conceal Concealer. I used to love this stuff. And I used this underneath my eyes as well as on my cheekbones and down the center of my nose. I put a little bit on my Cupid's bow as well and my chin, just to again add light to the higher points of where Ariana's face naturally shines. I'm probably not making any sense. I'm pretty much highlighting so that way my facial structure will look a little bit more like hers once I blend everything out, set everything, and contour later on. So after I applied the concealer, I went in with a brow pencil. This is my Anastasia Brow Definer, and it is in the shade dark brown, which I have found recently has looked really brown in my eyebrows as opposed to black. So I probably need the darker shade now, but I decided to use this to get a little bit closer to Ariana's eyebrow shape and color. And she doesn't really have as much of a defined arch as I do. She kind of just has straight brows and then they kind of dip down. And they're a little fatter, so I try to imitate the brow look that she goes for, and she doesn't have a lot of emphasis on her brow hairs in the center of her face as much as she does in the outer portion. So I tried to mimic that here. And then I went and just blended out my concealer that I applied earlier before going in with some setting powder to set my entire face and blend it a little bit further into my skin. So next I went in with some bronzer and I used this to again mimic her facial structure. She has more deep set eyes than I do. I have short eyelids as according to my nephew. So I applied some bronzer to my crease to make them look a little bit more deep set, and I used that same bronzer and same pointed crease brush by Morphe to contour my nose so that it's more slim, and I made sure to blend out the sides because you don't want awkward lines on the side of your nose when people see you from the side. So after applying my bronzer where I wanted it, I made sure to blend it out with that same brush. And after that, I used the same bronzer with my favorite contouring brush by Sephora, and I used this to contour my face, and I emphasized my jawline a little bit more than usual because I have a square shaped face, so I have a little bit more of an angularity to my face and a wider jaw than Ariana does, so I tried to contour that as much as possible without looking like I had dirt on my chin in order to mimic her face shape. And for an added effect, I went in with a Maybelline brow pencil and I used this to create some fake dimples. So I just drew like a little crescent on the side of my face and then blended it out. And then I used a highlighter just to define my cheekbones and my nose a little bit more. And I used a light amount just because Ariana's not really big on cheek products. Same thing with the blush. I only went in lightly, but she does highlight her face, I have noticed. She loves to highlight, so I made enough so that you could see it, but not too much. And then for the eyes, I started by priming them, and then I went in with this like grayish, purpley pink color, and I applied this straight up to my lid, and I applied it a little bit higher and in a more rounded shape than I usually do to mimic her eye shape. And I went in with some pink and blended that into the color before going in with a light highlight shade for the inner corner and blending it out with my finger and using a matte sparkly pink pot for the center of the lid. And of course, you can't be Ariana without some bomb eyeliner, so I lined my waterline and tightline with a black retractable eyeliner pencil and then went in with the Stila Stay All Day liquid liner to create a fierce wing. And I also put on lashes. I was going to do individuals, but I ended up settling on some natural looking strip lashes. So for lips, Ariana had like a nice pink lip, so I went in with a Bare Minerals liquid lipstick. I believe the color is Juju, and I applied it to my lips, and then once it dried, I went in with a lip liner, and I chose a brown one, and this was really hard. So I have short lips, even though they're fuller, they're not as long as Ariana's, and she also doesn't have as defined of a cupid's bow as I do. So I tried to use a lip liner to create longer lips and no cupid's bow, and it was very difficult, as you can see here. But once I did that, I used some Joair gloss to blend the color together, and after you do all of those things, you kind of sort of look like Ariana. I kind of look like myself with dimples, but you know what, it was close enough. It was really fun to create this look, and I hope this is something that you guys enjoyed. And with all of that being said, I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!